The Chicago Cubs have their problems, their fair share of problems this season, and it's fair for some fans to be worried. However, guys, one thing that we have lacked, I think we finally figured out. Let's talk about it. You guys remember the Chicago Cubs trading away Chris Bryant, trading away Anthony Rizzo, trading away Javi Baez, trading away or not re-signing or losing guys left and right. Obviously the deal, the decision to not tender a contract to Kyle Schwarber, not Kyle Tucker, Kyle Schwarber. All of these different things. A lot of the reasoning behind it was because the Chicago Cubs offense just stalled. And it was one of those things where we just kept looking around like, God, what happened to this offense? Why is it so bad? Let's go back to the game against Colorado. I can't remember if it was a win and you're in. I believe it was a win and you're in game against the Colorado Rockies. And the Chicago Cubs couldn't even score one run against the Rockies in Chicago. There was multiple times where the Chicago Cubs would get to the playoffs and they would just struggle to score runs. Anthony Rizzo's bat would go cold. Chris Bryant's bat went cold. Javi Baez was just out there swinging at whatever. And the reason I bring this up is because that is really what I feel like initiated the Chicago Cubs making the decisions that they made to make those trades. Now, you would say, why did the Cubs make these decisions? Because these guys couldn't hit. And if you don't hit, you ain't going to score. And if you don't score, you ain't going to win. I mean, that's simple baseball, folks. Hi, I'm Mike Jones. I am the host of Chicago Cubs Central. Shout out to everybody that is tuning in on this beautiful Easter Sunday. Hope you guys are all doing fabulous. Hopefully you're spending some time with the fam, enjoying yourselves, having a great weekend. It's also WrestleMania weekend. Shout out to everybody. Last night's show was crazy, and I can't wait to see what they're going to end up doing tonight. However, we do have a ball game tonight. The Chicago Cubs play against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and they go for the sweep after winning yesterday's game 6-2. Chicago Cubs put a pounding on them. Ben Brown did not go far, but it's okay because for once, the bullpen figured it out and held the lead. They only gave up one more run past the one home run Ben Brown gave up in the first inning. Pretty proud of those guys. Pats on the back to the bullpen for once. However, back to what I was saying to you guys. The Chicago Cubs offense back then was awful. And we have needed them to come together and to figure it out for the longest of time. And we have tried so many different things, so many different people, so many different solutions. Like I said, after we made the trades, we tried to sell. They tried to sell us on the thought process that, like I said, the Chicago Cubs are going to be great this season, because they have all these different players or whatnot. I mean, I think about the different guys that we've signed or the different guys that we've traded for. And I just have never really seen an offense like what we're seeing right now. So listen, the Chicago Cubs, as of right now, are leading the National League Central Division with a 12-8 record. They are in the top teams in the NL in their whole major league. They have a potent offense that leads the league in runs at 124, hits at 188, and total bases at 318. Notably, outfielder P. Armstrong has been a standout, hitting .429 over his last 5 games with 3 home runs. The team's aggressive base running with 29 stolen bases also contributes to the offensive success that this team has had so far. So when you look at this, like I said, the Chicago Cubs offense literally ranks at the top. So to me, what's the difference? There's a couple of differences. But the biggest difference that you can contribute to the Chicago Cubs offense is the fact that you got a bona fide superstar hitting in the middle of that order. I mean, when you think about yesterday's game, he came up, knocked out a 2-run homer, and then right after him, Seiya Suzuki knocked another home run. When you look at today, with Kyle Tucker getting that triple and driving in the first run, and then, like I said, making it easy for the guys to pile on after that. You just got to think about what it does, how it changes things when you got somebody like Kyle Tucker in your lineup. It just makes life so much easier for everybody else. The Chicago Cubs offense in 2025 is literally at the top of the majors. And it's unbelievable. Like, I knew that the Chicago Cubs were going to be a good team. I just didn't know how good a team they were going to be. And like I said, the team itself has hit 27 home runs so far, which puts them the highest in MLB. They average 6.23 per game. I'm sorry, the 27 home runs ranks them 4th in the league. They also have aggressive base running with 29 stolen bases. The Cubs lead the majors in steals with P. Armstrong, Nico Horner, and John Birdie each contributing. But the main reason, y'all, the main reason that you're seeing this offensive success from the Chicago Cubs, it's because of Kyle Tucker, man. He is adding a significant offensive boost to this team. And like I said, it's amazing. We saw a historic game on Friday. And then you saw the Cubs come out the next day and there was no hangover. Normally the Cubs that I remember, would drop that. But this season feels different. These Cubs feel different. These Cubs feel like they get it offensively. Like they finally understand. And a lot of that is dealt to Kyle Tucker. He makes it so much easier on everybody else. It's not all Kyle Tucker. Michael Busch has been a revelation. And Lord, Carson Kelly and Miguel Amaya, kudos to both of those gentlemen. The bottom of the lineup is really impressive. Really impressive with the way they've been swinging the bat. And now you add somebody like John Birdie in, who's going to get majority of the chunk at third base. And you just see that the Chicago Cubs have figured some things out. And it's impressive to watch. Now, albeit Kyle Tucker does need to have to stay healthy. But, I mean, this is a potent Chicago Cubs offense. Could you just imagine what this offense would have been like had we had Kyle Tucker and Alex Bregman, though? I mean, my God, that would have been nasty. To have to hit Ian Happ, Tucker, Bregman, then Suzuki? Nobody would have wanted to see that. That would have been filthy. Filthy. But again, I'm happy to see the Chicago Cubs offense figuring things out. It's refreshing to see. It's refreshing to watch. And I'm excited for it. And you guys should be too. Because the Chicago Cubs are playing great baseball right now. We boast a 14-9 record heading into today's game, another 120 game against those Arizona Diamondbacks going for the sweep. The Chicago Cubs have Jameson Taillon pitching, and Kelly will be pitching for Arizona. Kelly is 3-1, Tyone is 1-1. We'll see what happens there. But the Chicago Cubs have a chance to sweep and go 15-9 on the season, putting them right in the thick of the top of the MLB. Not just the National League, the MLB. I'd be very curious to see what they do. Hopefully they can pull off a win. But the question of the day is, what about the offense has you most excited? Is it the home run ball? Is it the stealing bases? Is it the clutch base hits? What about this offense that has been so potent has you excited and raving about the Chicago Cubs offense? Because I think this is one of the best offensive Chicago Cubs teams we've seen in a while. Knock on wood, because I don't want to jinx anything. But this is definitely one of the better offenses we've seen in a while the Chicago Cubs put out on the field. And a lot of it's due to Kyle Tucker, man. Listen, sign that man. Please re-sign him. Please re-sign him. But that's my time for today. Don't miss First Pitch 120 on the Marquee Network. Chicago Cubs versus the Arizona Diamondbacks, trying to go for the sweep. See if they can pull out those brooms and get this game too. But until next time, I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Appreciate each and every last one of you. Go Cubs, go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.